An outer body experience. I remember running around, help, emergency. I was gathering all these different doctors and fellow colleagues. I'm like, we have to help Lisa. What's going on YouTube? My name is Dr. Daniel Rubinshtein and I'm a cosmetic dentist here in New York City. You've seen me on Instagram, you've seen me on TikTok, and I have never shared this one special story. It's the story of my first ever patient. Yes, it's probably embarrassing. Yes, it's been many years ago. Let's get into it. As a dental student, we've been working on mannequins. It's just a skin with this little mouth that opens up and closes, and it doesn't talk back to you, doesn't react. You're not scared of messing up because it's just a mannequin. So imagine this. You've been practicing on mannequins for months and months and months, and you finally have the honor of working on a real live patient. So I knew that on Wednesday at 9 a.m. I had my first ever patient. Let's call her Lisa. I can't really disclose her real full name, so if you're watching, I'm talking about you. She was an elderly woman, and it said emergency. That was my appointment. It was an emergency with Lisa. And emergency can mean a million different things. Why would they give a dental student who's never seen a patient emergency? I was thinking of the worst of the worst. So my patient Lisa, elderly woman, comes into my chair. I do my best to welcome her. I do my best to make her feel like family. And she looked at me, she goes, I'm in pain. And she looked at me to resolve it. I'm like, you're in pain? And I'm looking around like, how am I gonna get her out of pain? This was one of those experiences that was an outer body experience. I remember running around, help, emergency. I was gathering all these different doctors and fellow colleagues. I'm like, we have to help Lisa. She's in pain. She's in pain. I can't imagine how frantic I was. The last thing I want is Lisa to leave my chair still in pain. I think I was even like massaging her hand. I was like, do you need anything? I was bringing her water, and the other people there were like helping her in other ways. So even though I didn't have the answer, I wanted to make Lisa feel as comfortable as possible, as if we have everything under control. Even though I kind of didn't. I can't even imagine what Lisa was experiencing. She's laying down in the chair. She sees me like definitely sweating, because I tend to sweat pretty fast. That's embarrassing. And all of a sudden she removes her teeth, and I'm like, how is that even possible? She had a denture, and the biggest thing was she had a little pressure spot that was pushing against her gums. That was her emergency. First off, I was relieved that it had nothing to do with life-threatening problems, but I also wanted to help resolve her pain. So one of the main professors took me under his wing and was like, don't stress, don't panic. This is treatable. One of the things that I learned was that you could have the most unexpected problems in your life, but it's how you react and how you handle it. Well, my patient Lisa left very happy with no pain, but one thing that I could tell you is that I thought that I would need to do something to save her life. But at the end of the day, even the smallest adjustment for a patient is gonna feel like you're saving that person's life, because a mouth pain is one of the worst pains, which I don't wish upon anybody. For those that have been following me for years, for those dental students, for those medical students, it's not about how you get started or when you get started. As long as you get started. It takes practice, it takes being humble, it takes you realizing that you might not have all the answers. Even to this day, with all the knowledge and research that I've done and all the patients that I've seen, every single one of the patients that comes into my chair, I treat them as it's my first time, with humbleness, with open-mindedness. That's really the way that I envisioned being a doctor. One thing that I do know is that my work ethic, my hunger to help human beings has not changed from my first ever patient Lisa to my recent patient John to many patients moving forward. We're in this profession to help others, but definitely, you always will remember your first. My patient Lisa, I love you. Thank you for allowing me to help you to jumpstart my career, jumpstart my love for this profession. I will always remember you. And for those that have had some cool or fun or interesting first experiences as healthcare providers or in any profession, comment below. You know, it's humbling to know that you're not gonna be an expert right away. Michael Jordan wasn't the #1 pick right away. And it's how hard you work to become the best of the best of the best. If you wanna hear more personal stories, embarrassing stories, or just me talking about different experiences, subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment below if that's of interest, and I'll continue this style. I love you guys very, very much. Dr. Daniel, out.